Now, our first question today comes to us from a listener in Mount Clemens, Michigan, who writes, did recreation really occur in Genesis chapter 1?
In other words, what you're trying to say is, are we to take chapters 1 and 2 of Genesis literally? And my answer to that, of course, would be, of course, yes. No other way of taking it. And how can you be sure? I'm as sure of that as I am of anything. I look about at this creation that's around me today, and I know one thing, that somebody had to start it. And if you reduce it down to one little amoeba that's in a mud puddle, you got to tell me where that little amoeba came from. And if you can't tell me that, then, my friend, your whole system of evolution just doesn't stand, or at least it's just merely a theory and doesn't rest on any facts whatsoever. There was a time when something was created, had to be, to get all this started. Even if you had evolution, it would be evolution of that which was in existence. And how do you get it into existence? Somebody has to create it. And if you don't mind, I say that's God that did it. And I'm sure of that. Is this where you put the dinosaurs? I don't put them anywhere. They're too big for me to handle. As far as the dinosaurs were concerned, they could have been in this creation that was done in Genesis 1. There are several men. Dr. Morris down here in San Diego has the New Earth theory, which I very frankly admit that I hold that now, but I still present the gap theory because all of them are theories. Nobody can speak with any degree of assurance about the origin of this universe. You see, the scientists are desperately looking for the origin of life. That is something that really stumps them. Somehow or another, that little amoeba in the pond doesn't bother them. The thing that really bothers them is when the little fella came to life. And how did he get alive? That is the thing that is disturbing many of the scientists today. So that we're dealing with things here that you accept by faith. May I say to you, by faith, we understand that the world and the heavens, all of it was created by God. He made it out of nothing. But what's nothing? So any direction you go from there, you're stumped. And I don't care who you are, you accept it by faith. But what puzzles me most, this part it writes, is how God could look on all this death, destruction, chaos of the first creation and pronounce it all very good. Well, he didn't do that. That's not what he pronounced good. It's when he got through with it. After 6 days, he looked at it and he said it was good. I agree with him. Even after sin entered this earth, I look around in creation. I happen to be down at the desert in California. And while I'm down here doing this, it's actually cold weather back east. And I'm looking at palm trees and beautiful flowers and all of this. When God says it's good, I second the motion. It's good. I go along with him. Now, for according to your teaching, he destroyed the first world, and on top of that mess built this one, and called the mess with Adam very good. You haven't quite described the thing. Out of the chaos, he brought cosmos. May I say to you that we're seeing down here at this desert, if I may use an illustration. This desert is desolate in certain spots, but right now there's a big building boom going on down here. So if man can take this desert and make it blossom like the rose, then I think God was able to take what you call a mess and do quite a bit with it. And he certainly did do quite a bit with it. As I listen to you expound on this gap in Genesis 1:1-3, I can see Adam romping through the garden, leaping over rotten brontosaurus carcasses. Well, that's what you see. You don't see the creation that we tried to describe. This is your teaching, is it not? Absolutely not. You have missed my teaching altogether.